what's going on, y'all? My name is Mike, and welcome to DLW Mike, That Second Life with Mike. Today, I am joined with my friend Alexis here, and we're going to talk about her business, and it's called the Detox Sober Lounge. So let's jump right into it. So Alexis, thank you for joining. How you doing?
Not too bad. Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. I appreciate you. So let's jump right into it. Detox Sober Lounge. That name, when I hear detox, I think about, cleaning yourself out. Sober, I think about, kind of staying away from alcohol, but combining both of those together. What was the objective, with this name?
Actually, it's kind of funny. I came up with a lot of them prior to this, and then I met with a friend who actually just threw that name, Detox, because I had a whole bunch of other sober lounge names. I can't even think of them right now, but there were lots of them. And then he said, how about Detox? And I'm like, oh my God, that's brilliant. So he came up with it, actually. So it wasn't me.
Okay.
But yeah, I was so excited in the moment. I was like, are you going to charge me for this name? Or are you going to go patent this later?
Yeah. You never know.
Can I really have it? He was like, no, it's yours.
Okay.
So yeah, a friend of mine came up with it.
Why was detox and sober, in a conversation? We'll say that. Yeah.
So I'm in recovery myself. And I relapsed after having 6 years at one point, and I was hanging out in bars and just kind of hanging out with people who was using, smoking weed, and they were doing their thing, and I just was drinking lots of Red Bull, and just eventually I felt like it led up to a relapse, that amongst many other things. But when I got sober this time, I felt like we needed a space for us to be able to do those things, going to the play pool, play darts, listen to music, jukebox. So a safe space for us to do it without the booze. Because I'm a firm believer, and if you keep hanging around it, after some point you're gonna end up doing it.
Exactly. And I think that's really good. I think it's healthy to have an alternative for some people because, well, my friend who's vegan, who's always trying to look for alternatives, she doesn't like drinking that much, and so she's always looking for, man, I wish there was a place where you could just go have a normal outing, but not have to worry about, the pressure of alcohol and like what that brings. And so I think that's beautiful. I think we definitely do need this. I think you're doing something very noble. But how would you describe some of the obstacles, like getting to this point where now you have, a lounge?
In the beginning, it was more so of that's a great idea. And then it was like the fear kicked in. How? How am I going to do this, And then I know that I went out to Sands Bar and met the owner in Austin, Texas, and he told me he started with $200 popping up around town.
Okay.
Doing pop-up events. Okay. So we were doing that for a while. And then COVID hit. That was one of the obstacles. Because the goal was to do pop-up events all the way and then have a building in 2020.
Okay.
And COVID hit, so we literally didn't get a building in 2020. We ended up getting it this year.
When did you know that this was a place, or like when did you know that this was something that you want to open, like this type of place, like an alternative for people who wanted to, an alternative for those who, they want to have fun, they want to, go out, but not have, the pressure or the availability of alcohol or any type of substance, we'll say.
Okay, that would be in 2019-ish, somewhere in there. Because after meeting, there's an 11 o'clock meeting here in town for people who are in the 12-step program. Okay. And we go have like pancakes and go to like restaurants and just hang out because it's the only thing that's open for us to do. Okay. So that's when it gets boring, after a while. Like, okay, we go get pancakes, we fellowship, we socialize. There's got to be something else we can do. Right. And then there's no one's ever be like, oh, let's go to the bar, I mean, there may be some people that do it, but the group that I was hanging out with, we wasn't going to bars.
But it is interesting to come into a spot like this, with this type of appearance, yet, no one's, banging their head or like, woozy or intoxicated. They're just having fun. They're singing karaoke. They're playing darts. They're playing pool. They're dancing. They're having, fun and meeting people. And I think it's cool to have all of that without, the inclusion of alcohol. Yeah. Which is something that a lot of people, they probably can't imagine. Like, imagine you say a Saturday night, hey, we're going to go to, this place. It's like, oh, okay. But then you get there and you're like, oh, there's no alcohol. Because it's almost like people don't know how to be themselves without being under the influence or, altering, how they perceive something.
That's true. Yeah. When I first got sober, it felt like life was going to be over because there was no more party life. So it felt like it was over. So the whole goal of this, of course, is to show people that we can have fun sober. Yep. We can still do those things that we did before. Now we can do it without substance.
Now, so how many months has it been now since you've had the lounge, had things going? How long has it been now?
A little over 90 days.
Okay, nice. Okay, cool. So you started basically like towards the end of the summer, more or less.
Yep, we got the lounge in August, and we did our soft opening August 21st, so actually a little under 90 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. And now heading into the winter months, would you say the crowd is changing, or like, I don't know, has anything changed at all since then?
Yeah, I can feel a slower pace approaching, and it's to be expected because it's wintertime.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get some good ideas to get people out here and get them out of the warmth of their home and into the lounge for the wintertime.
Okay. Fair enough. What has been some of the feedback that you've received from the people who come here, who are regulars here? Yeah, what would you say? What is some of their feedback? What have they told you?
I get very genuine thank yous. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for being here for me. Thank you for having this. People are excited about it. They're talking about it, or they come out and they're just like, oh my God, I can do this and still have a blast. We have regulars that come every week that we're open, and they look forward to it. So the response of people that when they step into the lounge is really good.
Okay. Now, what would you say? Like, of course, you get the goal. You have the idea, but like, there's always going to be those obstacles, the challenges. What would you say has been the biggest challenge with keeping this thing going? Like, if you could pick out maybe one or two that you can think of.
The lack of the resources for marketing.
Yep.
That's huge. That would be the main one that I can only think of is the marketing. Just getting people to know that we're here and getting them to come out here to hang out.
Okay. So as far as like the crowd that comes here, not trying to like get any data, but like, would you say like the majority are people who are non-drinkers, people who are coming out of substance abuse, or what would you say?
So the majority is mostly people who are in recovery, who are coming out of drug and alcohol abuse. But it's really cool to see people that come in here like yourself who doesn't have a history of drug or alcohol abuse that can enjoy this type of setting. We've had pregnant people come in here and like, well, I can't drink for 9 months, so you stuck with me for 9 months. I'm like, all right, keep getting pregnant.
That's funny. That's funny. Okay.
We have people who have health problems, or just people who just don't want to drink. So that was really cool to see that. Or older people that are like more religious, who are like church-going people who just want to have a safe space to come do karaoke.
Right. That
we have customers like that. So there's a mixture, but the majority will be people that are in recovery.
Okay. So now here you are, 9 months, not 9 months, 90 days in more or less, things are picking up, you're learning, you're having this experience. Now, how does it feel to be, present in this moment where you now have your own Detox sober lounge?
It hits me in increments.
Okay.
I have moments where I'm overjoyed, and then I have moments where I'm stressed, and I'm like, oh, I'm a real business owner. It's still kind of surreal, that it's happened, but it comes in little minute increments, and also get little reminders when people are always coming up to me and like, are you the owner? Thank you for this, or looking to me to talk to partner or try to collaborate somehow. Then those moments are like, oh, that's me. I'm the owner. Hi.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I know previously you mentioned that you were going through substance abuse. Was this alcohol? Was this, I don't know, weed? I'm not sure like what it was.
So I started off smoking weed and drinking alcohol at the age of 12.
Okay.
And it progressed into more alcohol, and then at 18 I was smoking crack.
Okay.
And then at 22 I discovered meth.
Okay.
And I did coke too when I was in my teenage years, about 18, 19.
Okay.
Somewhere in there. And then meth, and then just the alcohol, of course, picked up more and more. And so I've done them all. Pills. Doctor prescribed me pills one time for a broken knee, and I just abused the mess out of him until he told me not to call him no more for no more prescriptions.
Okay.
Like, all right.
So, because of your past experiences, would you say that you're able to relate to people more, or like kind of help them on their journey of getting away from substances?
Yes, absolutely. So when people are coming in the lounge and they struggle with substance abuse, or they think, like I've had people come in that think they may be, but they may not be sure. They just kind of teeter-tottering. I'm able to talk to them about my personal experiences, you know, and let them know what I'm doing to help me, you know, stay sober. So yeah, they can. It's easier to talk to people when you come from a place to where you've done it already, so they can relate to you and they trust you more.
Exactly.
You can open up.
Exactly. You know, one thing that's been very pivotal this year is understanding that we have very high expectations for ourselves, as well as like, you know, where we, you know, our goal is, sometimes we set our goal and our starting point at the same place. And I think it's important to, you know, understand that, you know, if your goal is here and you want to start here, you know, you're more likely to crash. And so it's like, start from here, baby steps, get their little journey of substance abuse ended. Was it abrupt? Was it extreme? Or would you say it was gradual, kind of coming down?
So, like I said, I've been sober before. That was abrupt. I went to jail.
Okay.
And I was facing 1 to 20.
Okay.
But I knew before I went to jail that I wanted to get off drugs and alcohol. And then, so it was kind of a gradual, I guess, of up until I actually got sober.
Okay.
But I think if I'd never went to jail, I would have still been out there. I needed that abrupt, because I had to keep planning in my mind, okay, I'm going to get sober just tomorrow. Or next week, or just not yet, you know. So I'd have been probably doing that forever, you know.
Okay.
So I needed that abrupt moment, but it was more of a gradual, just tired, you know, feeling dark inside and like a big hole, you know. And then I got sober after I relapsed, because I got sober at that time, and then I relapsed, and I came, that time it was super bad. I felt worse than I've ever felt in my whole experience, but I knew in my mind at some point I would get sober. I just didn't know when, you know. And then I finally came to the point where I just woke up and was like, I gotta go to Detox. Douglas County Detox, that is. It's a center for people to get to dry out off drugs and alcohol. It's like, I gotta go to Detox, gotta go now. You know, I had to do it before I thought too much into it.
Okay.
You know, and I just, it was something I had been talking about, and just never did. And just one day I just woke up saying, boom, I gotta go. So now if I think too long on it, I'm not gonna go.
Okay.
But I was desperate. I was desperate.
There was this quote I saw. It was like, many times life organically gives us what we need instead of what we wanted. You know, so it's like you get put in situations where you didn't never expect yourself to be. Like, I'm not sure if you, even though you had this idea in 2019 to like now be at a point where you now have it, you know, it's it's crazy how that just happened. As far as mental health, would you say that this is a space for people, a safe space for those battling mental health as well?
Absolutely. Isolation is bad for individuals with depression. So this having a space, if they can just get out the house and get in here and come socialize with other people, or just be in an environment with other people, not even really socialize, it can boost, you know. I'm not a therapist or anything, but I know for me it helps. Just being around people can boost your endorphins, I guess, and cause less depression. To be in a fun environment with the music going, it's a vibe, you know. You got positive vibes going, you know that energy is going to transfer, you know, whether they're talking to people or not. It's going to transfer, and hopefully they'll open up and be able to come out their shell.
Exactly. I think all of us, you know, one way or another, we're looking for a tribe, a community to join us who actually understand us and accept us for who we are. And more or less, just, we'll say a safe space, you know. And so that's not always easy to find. I mean, think about all the people, you know, there's regulars at every place you can think about in Omaha. You know, so now you have your own regulars, but, you know, it's just, you got to keep hopping until you find, you know, what feels comfortable, what feels right.
Right.
So, yeah, so I think it, you know, it takes a while to get to that point. Now, going forward, what do you hope to see for Detox?
Here in the near future, full kitchen.
Okay.
All the kitchen equipment that we need. We're hoping to get that here shortly.
Okay.
And then we'll have a full, at least full bar menu of food. I like to pack the room constantly, you know, like for on the weekends for it to just be jumping, you know. So that's that marketing piece that I was talking about. And in the next few years, branch off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, open another one
Okay.
nearby. And just keep going. You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. What has been the community response of Detox House once this opened up? I want to say in the summer I heard about it, or like maybe the pop-ups. That's maybe what was going on. But like now actually having a place, like I think I just followed you on Facebook and I came out here. I was like, I'm not doing anything tonight. Let's go check it out. So I came out. But what has been the community response? Not from the regulars, but we'll just say those from the community.
A lot of people like, that is super dope. That's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we gotta check that place out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the response has been great. Like the social media
Mm-hmm.
part of it. You know, and then the news came out. Channel 3 and Channel 6 came out.
Okay.
And then the Omaha World Herald.
Okay.
Midlands Business Journal.
Mm-hmm.
Dine Magazine. So there people are coming out and
Mm-hmm.
talking about it and doing little stories and stuff.
Okay.
So it's getting a little better.
Okay. Cool. What message would you like to give the people who are, battling substance abuse, or maybe they are at a point where they know that something needs to change? So, what advice would you give to them?
For people that's battling addiction, I know what worked for me. It was not trying to think about it all at once. What I did is I told myself this time I was going to give it a shot for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try out what these people in my 12-step program were talking about. Give it 1 year. Give it your 110% shot. I like to tell people all the time that we went to any lengths to get our drugs and alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
We need to go to any lengths and to get our recovery.
Mm-hmm.
We hear that all the time in the rooms in the program that I work. But just give it a shot. What's the worst can happen?
Mm-hmm.
You can always go back to drugs and alcohol. That's always going to be there, but you don't know what's on the other side if you don't give it a try. And a good try, not just I'm just going to half try it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't half get drunk.
Mm-hmm.
We don't halfway get high,
Right.
So just give it your best, and you can do it. And there's so much support out here.
Mm-hmm.
My 12-step program has saved my life. Yeah.
Okay, so for those who would be interested in, reaching out to you or learning more about Sober Detox Lounge, where can they find more information? How can they contact you?
Our phone number is 531, I gotta look on here again, 375-5741. That's to the lounge. We have a Facebook page, Detox Sober Lounge. We have the website, detoxsoberlounge.com,
Mm-hmm.
or email alexis.lawson@detoxsoberlounge.com.
Mm.
And for those looking to support, we also have a GoFundMe, Detox Sober Lounge, to help us out.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, Alexis, I want to thank you for, opening up your schedule so we could have this talk. I know a lot of people, maybe they never even thought that this was possible, so maybe we could be inspiring someone on the low, or at least planting or planting a seed that will hopefully grow into something for somebody. So
Yes.
I appreciate you. Thank you for jumping on my platform on YouTube. And is there anything else you'd like to say, or any other message?
No, I appreciate you having me, and I just hope the people that are out there using can come to their senses and know that, it's doable. It's very doable.
Mm-hmm.
It's doable. Recovery is real. We do recover.
Amen. There we go. All right, y'all. Well, this has been another episode of DOW Mike. I want to thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.